welcome y'all to the show. Welcome.
All right, we are KA MMA UFC 300. This is going to be an amazing card. Jamahal Hill versus Alex Pereira. I can't wait, man. The UFC 300 is finally here, the biggest UFC that we've been all waiting for. All right, so let's get it started, man. This is going to be our early predictions video for the prelims, and then we'll do another video for the main card. Starting it off right away, let's get into it. We got Davison Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. This one is a good one. This is going to be a good fight for as long as it lasts. The pick for me is going to be Davison Figueiredo, man. Honestly, I don't trust Cody Garbrandt's chin in this one, man. And I got to say that if we think about Davison Figueiredo, he's amazing. This guy can do it all. He can strike, he can grapple, he can wrestle. He's got submissions. The guy can do it all. He's really, really good on the feet, really, really good on the ground. Cody Garbrandt is a striker. I think he can wrestle at times. I'm not sure. I think he can. But he's mostly a striker. Whereas Figueiredo, this guy is all around, all over the place. So if we look at the stats here a little bit, Davison Figueiredo, he won his last fight against just a second here.
It was his first fight when he went up in weight classes, and he beat Rob Font.
Yeah, he beat Rob Font by unanimous decision. That was 4 months ago. Before that, he lost to Brandon Moreno by knockout. Before that, it was a decision win against Brandon Moreno. And then prior to that, he lost to Brandon Moreno by submission. So he's fought Brandon Moreno 3 times. There was a draw the very first time between the two of them. I think Brandon Moreno is a better fighter than Cody Garbrandt, personally. And for him to get a draw and then a win against Brandon Moreno, that's pretty big. And again, he beat Rob Font. And you're going to say MMA math, but if you think about it, Cody Garbrandt lost to Rob Font. I know it was 2 years ago, but still, he lost to Rob Font. Figueiredo beat Rob Font. I got to go with Davison Figueiredo here. I think he's the better fighter. I think that he's just got more ways to win than Cody Garbrandt. And I don't trust Cody Garbrandt's chin anymore, man. If he gets clipped, he's going to go down. He's going to get knocked out. I got Davison Figueiredo to win by finish.
Yeah, I'm going to be going with Figgy myself. I can sort of see how some out there are tempted maybe to pick Cody Garbrandt at this price, but personally, I don't see him getting the win here. After all, Figueiredo questioned Cody Garbrandt's mental toughness, and if you know Cody Garbrandt, that should be enough to rattle him and get him all upset going into this fight, right? So I suspect at some point, no matter how hard he tries, he's gonna kind of lose control. And you know what happens when Cody Garbrandt does that, right? He leaves himself open to all kinds of shots. I think Davison is going to be waiting for that. I think it's going to be a pretty stand-up-ish fight. And yeah, like you mentioned, I don't trust Cody Garbrandt's chin either. I made a lot of money predicting Cody Garbrandt's opponent by knockout since he started his losing ways there. And also, I think he's got it in the back of his mind that he's been knocked out a lot. You know, he fights a little differently because of that. He's got to start paying attention to this type of thing. And yeah, I really think it's time for him to get caught again. And yeah, the pick is Figgy as well.
Nice. We agree on the first pick of the night. And not to mention, Figueiredo's 22-3, Garbrandt 14-5. So there's more fights there on Figueiredo's side, more experience there. And also looking at the height advantage, it's going to be height advantage on Cody Garbrandt by 3 inches at 5'8". But surprisingly, Figueiredo's got the reach advantage, which is a 2.5-inch reach advantage there. So it's going to be a good fight. If Cody Garbrandt can land a big punch early and knock out Figueiredo, then that might be possible. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Figueiredo is too quick, too fast, he moves around too much. I don't think he's going to get clipped, and I don't think Cody Garbrandt's going to have a chance to take him down and get on top. I think if he does try to do that, Figueiredo can pull in a submission move there. So yeah, Figueiredo all the way.
All right, so next we got Bobby Green and Jim Miller. My pick here is going to be Jim Miller. I think this is a great dog play on the week. I think it's fair to question Bobby Green's kind of like defense, which has always been kind of questionable, and his chin because he got destroyed the last time by Jalen Turner, I believe, where the ref didn't stop it. And Jim Miller's been looking fantastic lately. Some even say the best he's looked his whole career, and that could be kind of true because some of you may not know this, but this guy had like some kind of disease where he wasn't at full health for like half his earlier career, like the first half of his career, which is just nuts. I think he should be able to not get dazzled by Bobby Green's, Philly shell kind of hands low style enough to crack him good at some point. And maybe after that, even work in a little bit of ground game. Because if Jim Miller is in position against Bobby Green anywhere on the ground, I don't like Bobby Green's chances at all. I realize Bobby Green overall, skill for skill, is probably the better fighter, but Jim Miller, man, we can't sleep on him these days. I love him as a dog here. I love him at 300, and I think Bobby Green may even be underestimating Jim Miller a little bit. So I'm going with Jim Miller here. Oh, one last thing. I don't think Jim Miller is going to be too frazzled with what's going on with Bobby Green because he has a crazy amount of fights. And I counted these up earlier. This is not counting no decisions or that because I couldn't see it on Tapology. If you add both the records, wins and losses, this will be their 101st fight. Yeah, which is just insane. So here we go. 300 for 100. Jim Miller's the pick.
Yeah, I gotta be in agreement with you, man. I like Jim Miller in this one. Bobby Green is very dangerous. The guy is a very good striker. He leaves his hands down all the time, though, and when he comes forward, he fools around while he's in the cage. And I think that Jim Miller is going to profit from when his hands are down. I think Jim Miller is going to be able to get some solid shots on him while his hands are down. Jim Miller has more ways of winning as well. The guy is a submission specialist, black belt in BJJ, very good takedowns and grappling. Whereas Bobby Green is not good on the ground. We've seen when he gets taken down, he's having a hard time on the ground on his back. He has a hard time getting up. And Jim Miller is just really, really good at keeping the control time. So I got Jim Miller to win this one. I think he's going to be able to get a submission on Bobby Green at some point, get his back, get him on the ground. Whether it's an arm triangle or whether he gets him on the back and gets a sub, gets a rear naked choke of some sort. But I see a submission happening in this fight. I think Bobby Green's going to do well on the feet, but Jim Miller is he's going to do not so bad on the feet as well. I think that at some point when Jim Miller sees an opening, he'll take him down and get him on the ground, and that's where he's going to shine and get the win here. So I'm going Jim Miller. We are agreeing 2 for 2 here so far in these prelims. All right, moving on up the card, we got Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez.
Oh,
Now, for this one, I have to say that Jessica Andrade is very dangerous. Okay, very, very dangerous. The pick for me is going to be Marina Rodriguez in this one, and the reason why is because I do like Marina Rodriguez striking more than Jessica Andrade. She's more precise with her striking. I like the fact that she's going to have a 3-inch reach advantage, and also she's going to have that 5-inch height advantage. It's going to be hard for Jessica Andrade to get in close on her. If Marina Rodriguez stays at distance and just hits her with the jab and the straight strikes to the head, she'll be able to damage Jessica Andrade. If Andrade tries to get a takedown, Marina Rodriguez can use her knee near in the head as she's coming in. Uppercut, puncher when she's coming in, and Marina Rodriguez takedown defense is pretty good. As long as this fight stays on the feet, I think that Marina Rodriguez could win, and also Marina Rodriguez does have some takedowns as well, and she's able to grapple as well. So for me, I like Marina Rodriguez in this one. The taller fighter, the reach advantage, the distance. Yes, Jessica Andrade is more powerful. She's very, very, very strong and dangerous, but I think that Jessica Andrade she just keeps coming forward all the time. She doesn't move around really much. She just she comes in a straight line at you, comes straight at you, and I think Marina Rodriguez is going to capitalize as she's coming forward to just hit her with those straight punches to the face. So the pick for me is Marina Rodriguez in this one. Not crazy confident in it. It is a women's fight, MMA, so you never know. But I like Marina Rodriguez to get the win here. I think she wins by either finish or decision here.
Yeah, the pick for me is Marina Rodriguez as well. I just think Jessica Andrade has been through a lot of wars, right? And she's been knocked out a few times. Uh, Andrade likes to bully people around, and that's really how she gets her wins. If she can't be the bully, she's usually not going to get the win. And I don't really see that happening against Marina Rodriguez. I like Marina Rodriguez's striking here, and I like her to be able to keep her off of her with her length. And I expect Andrade to get a little frustrated at some point, and that should be enough to get Marina Rodriguez the win. So I'm with you there, man.
Yeah, I mean, Jessica Andrade did beat Mackenzie Dern in her last fight, but she did lose three in a row prior to that. She lost to Tatiana Suarez by submission. She got knocked out by Zhao Nanyan, who's coming up later on in this card. And also, she got subbed by Erin Blanchfield. Now, Erin
Yeah.
Blanchfield, I mean, come on, you're getting subbed by Erin Blanchfield. I really think Marina Rodriguez is going to be able to get the win here. She's coming off of a nice win against Michelle Watterson by
People
knockout.
thought she was done.
Yeah,
Andrade. Yeah.
and she lost to Verna Jandiroba by decision, who's also a tricky grappler, and she was able to last and not get subbed by Verna Jandiroba, who's a submission specialist. So I don't think Jessica Andrade has a chance to beat Marina Rodriguez on the ground. So she'll have to keep the fight standing, and I think Marina Rodriguez is going to be able to get the better of her in the striking. And if she takes her down, if Marina Rodriguez can take her down and get on top, that's going to be to her advantage. So yeah, again, we are in agreement here in this one with Marina Rodriguez.
All right, so next fight here we got Jalen Turner against Renato Moisiano. Where's the money for Renato Moisiano? I'll tell you what money he's gonna get. He's definitely gonna get his show money. Unfortunately for him, I was looking far and wide, believe me, to pick Renato Moisiano in this fight, but I just can't do it. I think Jalen Turner is just way, way too much on the feet. Um, Renato Moisiano, in my opinion, willed his way to victory against Drew Dober, got him to fight more of his fight, and actually capitalized on a Drew Dober mistake to get that victory, right? I don't think he's going to be able to impose his will in any way on Jalen Turner. Even if it gets down there, Jalen Turner has such a weird body and can possibly surprise Moisiano with a submission threat of his own, although I don't suggest it. I predict this is going to be a stand-up affair for the most part because Renato Moisiano will not be able to get this 10-foot tall Jalen Turner down. Jalen Turner also uses his reach extremely well, and I just don't see Renato Moisiano pulling this one off. I have to go with Jalen Turner here.
Yeah, man, this is again another one where I'm in agreements with you, man. We got to go with Jalen Turner here for sure. I think that he's the more athletic of the two. He's going to be with a significant height advantage at 6'3". Moicano's 5'11" there. He's going to have the 3.5-inch reach advantage as well. Now Moicano is very dangerous. Now, if Money Moicano, if he's able to use his submissions, his jiu-jitsu, if he's able to get Jalen Turner on the ground, he could have some success there. But Jalen Turner, very good takedown defense. He's also very, very tall and lanky, so it's going to be hard for Moicano to take him down. Jalen Turner's coming off of a good win against Bobby Green, who we just spoke about, and he knocked out Bobby Green. And I just think that Jalen Turner can get the finish here. Very, very powerful, very good striker. If he stays on the feet and he keeps his distance, I think he's going to land some hard punches on Moicano, some leg kicks. He's very good at the leg kicks. If he gets him in the clinch too with those knees and leg kicks and those elbows and punches, I think that Moicano is going to be in for some trouble here. So the pick for me is Jalen Turner as well to get the win. And I have him winning by finish for sure in this one.
Nice.
All right. Still in the prelims, moving on up the card, we got Sadiq Youssef against Diego Lopez. Man, this one here is wait, I think it's your turn actually. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, yeah, we got Sadiq Yusuf with Diego Lopes. And as many of you know, it took me a little while to hop on the Diego Lopes bandwagon. What am I saying? Many of you know it's the first show, but Khalil knows. And
Yeah, you weren't a fan of this guy until you saw what he can do.
sometimes it takes me a little while to warm up, but I feel Diego Lopes is on some kind of one of these mystical little runs there where he's just gonna find the wins once he gets higher and higher up the ladder. Sadiq Yusuf is one of those steps above the ladder. He's definitely the best competition he's faced. Excuse me. But Lopes just looks so dangerous anytime he gets near the mat. Not that he wants to get it down there. It's his opponent that usually gets it down there due to the fact that Lopes surprises them with his above average striking. And it's painful. The thing that he lacks is defense. The thing that Sadiq Yusuf doesn't lack is patience. So I would be kind of worried about that if I were Diego Lopes. But since I'm on the magical run, if I were him, I just wouldn't care. And I'd do what I've been doing to all these guys, run right over to him, try to smash him up. Maybe even Sadiq Yusuf will take it to the ground, or it's going to wind up on the ground. And to those saying, yeah, Yusuf's smart enough not to get caught in these things, man, like, let's just see. I think anybody's capable of potentially able to get caught in one of Diego Lopes' submissions there. He almost got as we like to bring up in his fight, he almost defeated
Movsar Evloev.
Movsar Evloev, yeah, in his debut, and that was just insane for everybody. Here I go picking against him, against Gavin Tucker, against Pat Sabatini, because I feel there's always a slight letdown after you lose like a very close fight against a very good guy. Didn't happen to Diego Lopes. I think that may have been a blessing in disguise for him to just get that stellar competition right away. And let's not forget, the guy's been around for a while. He's paid his dues. He has a lot of experience. And yeah, that's the pick for me, man. Diego Lopes.
Yeah, he does have more fights than Sadiq Youssef at 23-6. Sadiq Youssef at 13-3. Diego Lopez is going to have the height advantage, 5'11". Sadiq Youssef at 5'9". He's going to also have a 1.5 inch reach advantage. Diego Lopez, man, this guy is very, 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 very good, man. This guy is a black belt in BJJ, crazy submission specialist. He's got all kinds of different submissions. Sadiq Youssef is very good too. He's good on the feet. But, you know, if he gets taken down, that's where there's going to be a problem because it's a grappler pretty much versus striker. You know, Diego Lopez is also not that bad on the feet. He can strike as well. He had a very good win against Pat Sabatini, knocked him out. He also had that win against Gavin Tucker where he got the submission triangle armbar. So Sadiq Youssef, if he keeps this fight on the feet, it could be interesting, but I don't think he'll keep it on the feet for the whole 3 rounds. I think that at some point Diego Lopez will get him on the ground, and that's where he's gonna get the win there by submission. I've got Diego Lopez to win by submission in this one. I think the ground game is just too much for Sadiq Youssef to handle, and I don't think Sadiq Youssef is going to be able to knock out Diego Lopez or win on the striking. So the pick for me is Diego Lopez here, man. And we are in agreement in every fight so far on this card. This is looking good. Looking good. And we're not always in agreement, that's for sure, man.
That's for sure.
I'm definitely happy about that. All right, so moving on up to the next fight is in this prelim is Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. This one here, man, it's crazy. The odds are absolutely insane. Okay, it's way too wide for a women's fight, and we have this rule where if the odds are really, really wide, go for the dog. And I think that in this one, I know everybody is going for Kayla Harrison here, man. She is losing. She is going down in weight, so she's got to. I got to see how she looks on the weigh-ins, but she has to lose a lot of weight all that muscle and everything that she's got to lose. I think she's going from 155 to 135 or something like that. It's
I think she has to lose 20 pounds.
20 pounds. Like that's a lot of weight to lose there, man. Holly Holmes is a vet. She's been in the game. She's fought the best of the best. I know it's gonna sound crazy here, man. Even though I was really looking at leaning towards Kayla Harrison here. Like I said, everybody's going for Kayla Harrison here. But I'm gonna go.
I
I'm
don't know
gonna go
about
against
that.
the grain. Well, so far from what I've seen, a lot of people like Kayla Harrison, but I am going against the grain in this one. I am following what one of our rules was, which is to go for the dog when you see the lines are so wide. So I got to go with Holly Holm in this one, man. I'm not confident in it. It's women's MMA, but I got to go with the vet Holly Holm. I got to go with the old bitch. We're gonna go with Holly Holm, man. I think
You
she
know,
can get the win here.
I thought, man, what's going on? Are you starting to take my lead a little bit here? No, because I didn't even say my pick. But my pick is Holly Holm.
No
Like,
way!
yeah, man. Look, I think Holly Holm has experience dealing with the hottest judoka in town, right? She defeated Ronda Rousey down in the past in Australia there. Who can forget that? At the same time, this weight cut is just absolutely nuts. Look, this is depending if the fight happens, right? Kayla Harrison is in for the toughest weight cut in her life. And if you think that, hey, she's a professional fighter, she's used to this. She was in the Olympics. This was her job, is to cut weight. This is not true when it comes to Kayla Harrison, because with Kayla Harrison, she has always fought at her natural weight. She was never the type to cut down to anything. She preferred, which is the way I feel it should be in general, but that's another topic for another day. I think the most she actually had to cut was 5 pounds, and I forget which fight that was. So that's definitely going to work against her. I think after that weight cut, Holly Holm is going to be stronger than her. I'm pretty sure she's going to be expecting some judo action going on. And let's be real here. Kyla Harrison has not faced the greatest huge big girl competition where she's coming from, right? She's in the UFC now. She's facing Holly Holm, who's super experienced. And you can say, yeah, Holly Holm is 52 years old. But let me tell you, she may be 52 years old, but she looks like she's fighting like she was when she was 32 years old. So she's 20 years older. I can't really tell much of a difference. I think she's going to be prepared for this. I think she's going to welcome Kayla Harrison into the UFC with a win. And I think Kayla Harrison's going to be too weak. And the thing about Kayla Harrison as well, she's very prideful, So she's going to make this weight. And she may be making it with like one less foot or something she has to cut off in order to make that weight. But she'll make it. And it ain't going to be easy against Holly Holm. And this is what I predict.
All right, well, she's not 52. She's 42. Now, yes, it's still a 9 year advantage for a 9 year
Disadvantage, 9 year disadvantage for
yeah, it's
oh
she's 33, Kayla Harrison, and Holly Holmes 42. So we're talking 9 years there, and
eh,
it does worry me a bit. But
doesn't worry me.
Holly Holm has the 3 inch reach advantage there, and look at who she's fought in her last 5 fights. She fought Raquel Pennington, who is no joke, and a top level fighter. She also fought Irene Aldana, who's also very good. She lost to Caitlin Vieira, who's also very good, and Yana Santos. She beat her, and there was a no contest there against Mayra Bueno Silva in her last fight. And who has Kayla fought? Well, she fought Aspen Ladd. I mean, Aspen Ladd is absolute garbage.
Aspen Ladd had a couple of moments in that fight on top of that.
Exactly. And prior to that, she fought a bunch of cans. So you know what? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Holly Holm. I think she's gonna get the upset here and get the upset win over Kayla Harrison's
Nice.
in this one here. So yeah, the pick is going to be Holly Holm. We are doing good here so far. We are literally perfect in this one.
Okay, so next we have Calvin Kattar coming up against Aljo. This is an interesting fight. I predict we may even see Aljamain Sterling strike a little more than usual because he's going to have a hard time taking Calvin Kattar down. If Calvin Kattar gets taken down, I predict he's going to get up pretty quickly. But Calvin Kattar is as tough as nails. He knows how to hunch over, bring that lunchbox, and box you out. You know, he's very good defensively. This is going to be Aljo's first fight in a higher weight class. I really don't know how much that's going to affect him because the guy cuts so much weight, right? But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Calvin Kattar's toughness. I'm going to go with the fact that Aljo will not be able to slip behind him and get that back because if he does, it could be scary. And I think Calvin Kattar is coming in here with a chip on his shoulder, ready to pound Aljo out of here. And also, I don't think the UFC likes Aljo that much. Nonetheless, very good matchup. They both have their positive sides. But I'm going to be going with Calvin Kattar here to dog it out.
Man, this one I've been going back and forth on, man. I'm really, not sure about this one. I do like Calvin Kattar slightly here, but I do think that Aljamain Sterling is very dangerous here. I'm also going to pick Calvin Kattar, slightly edging him to get the win. He does have a 4-inch height advantage, which is going to be significant in this fight because Aljamain Sterling, he's going to be so much shorter. It's going to be hard for him to take down Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar also has decent takedown defense. He's going to have a 1-inch reach advantage on Calvin Kattar there over Aljamain. But where I'm worried is the grappling. Aljamain Sterling is relentless with the grappling. He's amazing on the ground. His
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu,
but his takedowns suck.
his
His
takedowns
wrestling,
aren't the greatest. That's right. And if he can't, manage to get the takedown against Calvin Kattar, it's going to be a problem for Aljamain Sterling. But if he does get the takedowns, though, that's where I'm a bit worried. Aljamain Sterling is still very dangerous. He is a former champion. I'm going to go with Calvin Kattar. Not with the greatest of confidence there, just a slight edge. I'm not happy with the loss against Arnold Allen, where he got knocked out.
no,
Also, I'm not happy with the Josh Emmett loss.
no, the Arnold Allen was his knee injury. Remember,
Yeah,
he's
that's
coming
right.
off that knee injury.
That is true, yes. And he did get a win, against Giga Chikadze, which was pretty good. But he did lose to Max Holloway as well. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the pick is going to be Calvin Kattar. So I'm in agreement with. Okay, moving on up the card, the
Nice.
last fight of the prelims here. We are going to go with the last fight here is a crazy one. It is going to be Yuri Prochazka against Alexander Ratchik. Man, I got to go with Yuri Prochazka, man. I thought about this one a lot. I was thinking about going with Ratchik, but Yuri is just too crazy, man. This guy, he's unpredictable. He's got extreme power. He's very athletic. And I just think that somehow he's going to catch Alexander Ratchik and get the win here. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to do something crazy and he's going to get the win. The pick for me is going to be Yuri Prochazka by KO submission. I think this
Yeah,
here.
this fight should be awesome. Um, I had a little back and forth myself with this fight. Ultimately, I'm going to go with Yuri Prochazka for that the unorthodox things he does. Let's not forget that Alexander Rakic is coming out with a potentially career-ending injury to his leg, and while he is very super technical, and this is always something to look out for. He's very good defensively. I feel this is my take on it. My hot take on this fight is that he's going to be so technical that he's actually going to be too within himself out of kind of like fear that maybe my leg won't be 100%, and Yuri Projacha is going to get the better of him due to the fact that he's playing so within himself, so technical that he's not going to expect some wackiness coming out of Projacha. And I'm expecting some intensity, some aggressiveness coming out of Projacha, and also a bit of a chip on his shoulder after he lost the last fight. So my pick is Yuri as well.
Nice one, man. So we are in agreement with all of the fights. This is very rare. When this happens, though, folks, a lot of times we do well in the card when it comes to betting. Uh,
Yeah.
there are some good dogs that we'll talk about in the Friday show when we talk about our final picks and our bets. But so far, so good, man. We are in agreement with everything. One thing to point out, too, is Alexander Rakic has not fought in the UFC since a year and 10 months ago. So this is a long time that he's been
Not since his
fighting.
the leg injury there,
That's
right? So,
right, we got to remember that Yuri, he fought not too long ago. He fought against Alex Pereira, got knocked out 4 months ago. But prior to that, he fought Glover Teixeira, which was a year and 9 months ago. So he's already had two fights compared to the one fight for Rakic there. So this is going to be a great card. We just finished off our early predictions for the prelims. We are coming back to you with our next video, which is going to be the early predictions for the main card. Look out for that one, folks. Like and subscribe. This is our first video for UFC 300. Let's get it.
and don't forget to leave a comment as well.
Yeah. I'd like to welcome y'all to the show. Welcome.